Coach, what did you like about the first half and the rotations that you used and what they were able to put on the floor tonight?
I'm not sure. I'll have to watch the film.
This was a pretty up-tempo game. How do you kind of evaluate how you guys played in transition?
I thought we were okay.
Michael, this is another game where the opponent has taken quite a bit more threes than you guys have. How big of a concern is it? Just the disparity in number of attempts.
That's not my biggest concern. It's the makes. I mean, game one in Abu Dhabi, they took 61. They didn't shoot a good percentage. So if teams want to sit out there and launch, that's not my issue. My issue is making 23. They outscored us by 33 points from the three-point line. We dominated the glass, dominated the paint, but we got our ass kicked from three. And to give up 37 points in that third quarter was embarrassing. So we have a lot of work to do. That's what preseason's for. And tomorrow we'll watch a lot of film. It's a lot to clean up and practice and try to continue to pull it out of our guys, because we only have 2 more chances, in the preseason as we prepare for opening night.
Where do you see the biggest defensive breakdowns coming from? Is there a specific thing you're seeing?
Mm-hmm. You can't guard one-on-one. It's just a lot of blow-bys. And if you can't guard one-on-one, that means you're in constant rotations to help. And that just kind of creates that trigger. And you're just chasing your tail at that point. So, did a better job tonight. To the earlier question about transition, that was a real issue in the first 2 games in large part because of turnovers. So that was a positive tonight. We took better care of the ball, 33 assists, only 14 turnovers. We'll take that number. But I think a lot of their threes were, give the kid Dunn a lot of credit. He shot it well. Bowles shot it well. Monte, Royce O'Neal. So they had a lot of shooters. And that was without Beal, Booker, Durant, Grayson Allen. So they've got a plethora of shooting on their roster. But if you can't sit down and guard one-on-one, you can make it really hard on yourself.
Do you think that's experience, or do you think that's just effort or scheme yet, or getting comfortable with each other in terms of guarding one-on-one?
Oh, it's not scheme, and it's not comfort. You're just guarding the guy in front of you. Maybe you're uncomfortable with who you're guarding. I don't know. I can't speak for that, but one-on-one defense is just taking the challenge of sitting down and guarding and containing. And, they just had us, over and over and over again, just kind of getting into our paint, collapsing our defense, kicking out. Another driving kick, another driving kick. So they played well. And obviously we have a lot to clean up, which you expect, but, against their second and third unit, to give up 67 points in the second half is obviously very disappointing.
Does any of that, in your opinion, have to do with conditioning based on what you've seen with guys, and where do you think the team is collectively in that regard? Yeah,
I don't think we're in great conditioning right now. That's one thing we talked about, as coaches during the game. We look like some guys are just winded and a little tired out there. So that's something that we can try to improve upon. I think the conditioning can only help; it can't hurt.
How do you kind of remedy that in the short window between now and the start of the regular season? Is it trying to push starters for 3 quarters like this more in the other preseason games, or more sort of away from the game kind of stuff?
Probably both. I think some you can do. Like tonight, I ran those guys the whole third quarter, and obviously Jamal didn't play in the second half, but played that starting unit the whole third quarter to try to push their envelope a little bit. And that was probably a little bit hard on some of those guys. And then in practice, I think we can get up and down more. I think so often as coaches and modern day NBA, the league's gotten so soft. Everybody's afraid to condition and run. We have to.
The team is playing at a much higher pace. Ever since, like Russ really pushing the pace, but also with the starters just really pushing the pace. Could that be contributing to just sort of understanding how to get up and down and really trying to play as fast as possible?
Yeah, it definitely could be. Obviously, if you're playing at a pace that maybe you're not accustomed to, it could definitely challenge your system. But we talked about trying to be a better running team this year. And to your point, Ryan, it can't be just Russell Westbrook off the bench. It's got to be everybody. The best running teams are teams that have everybody rebounding and everybody running. Yeah, we'll watch the film. There's again, a good thing about this is we can take a lot of positives, and we can also look at all the areas that we struggled in and challenge ourselves to be better. Again, we have OKC coming in, then we go to Minnesota, and then get ready for our season opener. And I'm excited for what's ahead of us because so much room to improve.
On the offensive end, it looked like the ball found Mike a lot more today, and Mike found the ball a lot more. Is that something that you see being structural, or is that just his conditioning, his effort? What do you think of that?
Yeah, I'd tell you, there was a play in the third quarter, drew up an ATO for him, and his pace in that play was outstanding. I mean, talking about flying off, creating separation, and knocked down the shot. And obviously, Michael's an elite shooter. And, 8 of 13 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3. Those are very good numbers. But our issue tonight wasn't offense, as we all know. It was, well, I guess you could say we could have made some more threes. That would have helped. But just the defensive disposition wasn't anywhere close to being where it needs to be. All right, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate it.